Hi, it's good to be with you again. Today we're going to jump right in and begin with look at an interval, what an interval is, and plow right into the chromatic scale. So let's get to it. An interval is just like the name implies, it's a distance, and distances are generally measured. For instance, you might say it's 5 miles to the mall, it's 3 blocks over to my sister's house, I've sharpened my pencil so much it's only 2 inches long. Well, in music we have the same situation, and our measuring unit is called a half step. And on a half step on the guitar, a half step on the guitar is from one fret to the next. Now the way this instrument's laid out is the string is stretched over 2 fixed points. Up here is a nut and down here is a bridge, and the string stretched over that distance produces a tone. Now the frets are little pieces of wire that have been pounded into the fretboard at precise locations to produce a series of pitches. When you put your finger on the string and stop it on one of the frets, effectively what you're doing is lowering the distance from here back here at the bridge to where you've stopped it. Because the string has effectively been shortened, the pitch goes up. If you start here and then you go down, you're effectively lengthening the string and the pitch goes down. Right in the middle, halfway between the nut and the bridge, is the 12th fret. That cuts the string exactly in half, and when we play this distance, we get the same letter name of tone called E. This is an E note open in standard tuning, where A is 440. This is not the same pitch, however. The same pitch would be to play it together, or 2 E's. That's called unison, where the pitch is identical. This is an octave, our first interval. A distance of 12 frets produces the octave. Now Jason said the other day in the forum that, I think he said, after all there's only 12 pitches. So knowing that this is E open and this is E, let's count and verify that, starting with the open E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, the last one before we hit the octave note. Now this interval, 1 fret, is called a half step, or a semitone, or in interval terminology, it's called a minor second. It's the smallest formal interval that we have, that the instrument's made for. Now that you can produce smaller distances by bending the strings and getting little quarter tones and microtones in between there. But in terms of formality and what the instrument's designed to do, the frets are divide the pitch separation into half steps. It's just like the black keys and the white keys on the piano. If all of the keys played consecutively are all half steps. Okay, so the interval that we learned is the half step or minor second, and the scale that we learned is the chromatic. Scales have formulas underneath them, and the formula for the chromatic scale is simply half step, half step, half step, half step, odd, infinitum. Half step, half step, half step, half step, etc. Finally to an octave. So we had unisons, half steps, and an octave. We'll come back next time and look at the names of all these notes and we'll name every note on the fretboard. It won't be nearly as hard as it sounds. There's some tricks to it, but I'm confident after the next lesson you'll be able to, with a little practice, be able to name all the notes on the fretboard. Until then, have a good one.